What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Weekly Market Chat. And your host today. I'm Johnny. We also have Benz here. Hey, Benz, how are you doing?
Hi everybody, Ben's here. Thanks, Johnny, for hosting today's session again. Yeah.
Yeah. In today's episode, we are going to cover, as we told you guys last week, we're going to explore the economic events happened last week, and also we're going to talk about the CPI print coming out tomorrow. And let's see how market's going to react tomorrow. And we're going to interpret the market's reaction later on when we talk about the economic data last week. And we're also going to cover some heated topics recently. For example, the Pi network and also the core DAO, which have been trending recently because, as you know, Huobi listed Pi network previously, and then the price of Pi went up 300 something, and then it was crazy. It was a crazy hype, and then we could probably discuss what Pi is, and also for some of you who might also want to know more about Core DAO because they are somewhat similar. They have some similar characteristics, and we're gonna tap into that later on. And later in the later section, we're also going to cover some market news. For example, we have the Genesis and also grayscale issues still stuck in a situation where it's not fixed. It's not fixed yet, and we're gonna just tap into that later on. So let's begin by looking at the market now. So I'm gonna switch to trading view and let's see what how Bitcoin's doing right now. Okay, so we're now trading at 17k somewhere 17k 500, and then we're now in a liquidity zone. I suppose it's a supply zone. I mentioned it last week. Probably we're gonna face some resistance here. Let's see if we can flip it into support because we have been trending upwards for almost more than a week since the beginning of the new year, and that was quite a good start. Yeah, right, Vince.
Yeah.
Finally, seeing some bullish development in crypto. Bitcoin climbed up 7%, and Ethereum has been outperforming all the way. And now I'm seeing that we are now at the top of the accumulation range. I suppose the accumulation range right now trading at 1,300 and something, and then as we are approaching to the top boundary of the trading range, we should pay extra attention to some price reversal patterns here. Let's see how things gonna turn. But in my own opinion of financial advice, though, I think we might have a liquidity grab over there, and then just retrace a little bit. That's what I think. Gonna pay attention to how things develop later on. But as we approach this, Shanghai upgrade in March, Ethereum has been performing very well as long as other Ethereum related coins, for example, OP and also especially Lido, right? You see the Lido price.
Yeah, Lido is really crazy right now. Ever
Yeah,
since
Lido is really crazy.
ever since the Shanghai upgrade announcement, they gave a date somewhere in around March. So a lot of stakers, or I say DeFi users, because they know that okay, the staking is gonna be released in March. So those liquid staking derivatives are, I would say, de-risk, because everybody, previously we do not know when are they gonna unstake this Ethereum 2.0 Ethereums. So since we have a date now, it de-risks the bubble of liquid staking derivatives, which people they leverage up and actually use the stake MAST Ethereum to to borrow money to actually do other activities. So since they know there's a date, and more people are actually jumping onto Lido or liquid staking projects to actually do staking. Yeah, I think this is like right now and what everybody's doing.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You know, in November, I think we had a pretty narrowed range, trading range, and there was a very clear accumulation range, ranging from $1 to $1.20, somewhere around that. And then price recently in January 3rd, 4th, 5th, and then broke out of the trading range, finished accumulation and shot up high. And even we broke the previous structure, right? Because the previous high we had in November was $1.80. And now we're now trading above $1.80. We're probably going to consolidate somewhere around this price range. And let's see if we can sort of even higher if Ethereum is performing well later on. And yeah, pay attention to Lido and also with Ethereum related coins. For example, I saw OP was pumping as well for almost um, straight a week since January 1st was quite a very good performing. You see, OP was outperforming, than other coins as well, and definitely very, very, very optimistic, to kickstart the 2023 new year. And yeah, and speaking of some outperforming projects, let's see what Pi is doing right now, because let's check out on Huobi's price. We're now trading $68. It's been crazy. Hey Benz, could
Yeah,
just talk us through how this thing went up, why everybody's talking about a Pi project, and why is it so special? And the one important thing people are saying that the Pi network has not gone mainnet, and therefore what we're trading now is a little bit um, not very clear. But we're probably going to explain to our audience what we're trading now for the Pi token.
I think I think like TLDR why
Yeah,
Pi network is so popular is because it sort of like they market themselves as a breakthrough technology that allows people to do mining. They can mine Pi on their phone without
yeah,
draining their battery.
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
it's like I can earn money without even doing anything, right? So I think this is how they market themselves. So I like if I were to like go down into specifics, I don't think I'm very knowledgeable in that, but I can actually from what I see from the development was uh
yeah,
Pi
sure.
is like is an enclosed mainnet. So these Pi tokens are actually the mainnet is enclosed, so these tokens are not supposed to go out of the mainnet, right?
Yeah,
However, these Pi tokens, they release in the form of like IOUs. So it can be it's like a fake Pi tokens, which was I would say maybe a form of derivatives that was listed on Huobi to actually imitate the value don't have on sort of like a price discovery for this Pi network because there's this hype that people can earn money from their phone and it's like it's easy, anybody can do it, everybody has a phone, and hence a lot of people jump on this this project. Um, but I think from I'm not a developer myself, so I don't know. I have no idea what is underneath the code. How is the consensus like? I did more research on call out than a Pi network. So
yeah,
maybe we can talk about core later. But
yeah,
for Pi network wise, we I think the reason why uh from what I see is Pi does not want to actually go on go on to mainnet because after price discovery, the hype is gone, the price of this project will actually plummet. So they just want to have this, pi to be within their enclosed system, so that there's the hype there. There's no actually very formal form of price discovery. Hence, they were not happy when Huobi actually listed this token. Yeah. What do you
Yeah.
think, Johnny?
Um, I think, whether it's good to list the token, people have different opinions, but I think as an exchange, we just list some popular tokens for people to trade, right? And that's the only purpose. And I don't think it's unreasonable to list Pi Network because it's so popular. And out there are some people who really want to speculate on this concept, and some people made money. Some people make money trading Pi Network and on Huobi, and also some people, just enjoy the ride to $300. When it comes to trading, it's just independent. Is different than investing, right? Because for the Pi Network, I think if right now Pi Network by having the mobile app and then doing the mining on their mobile app. But you can buy Pi Network out there, but it's on exchange, and then you can buy Pi tokens on the exchange, but you cannot withdraw it, and that's a problem. But just a part of trading and just a part of speculation is just one typical crypto thing in the space. I don't think it's very abnormal or something. And one thing that we should pay attention to is that the Pi network has not gone live on mainnet, which means that you cannot do transaction using the Pi token, Pi network tokens. You cannot send it to other people. You cannot withdraw it from exchanges, and this is just a fact. Until they release that, they're gonna have updates on their mainnet. We're not going to do transaction with the Pi tokens. And also one thing I looked into was that it was actually not a real mining process happening on the mobile app of this Pi network, right? I actually came across the real reward behind the mining process, so-called mining process. It was actually just a user engagement rewards for people uh, getting the Pi mobile app and then getting some Pi tokens. It's not actually mining. It's the network has not even gone on mainnet, and therefore you can mine, you can verify transactions. There are actually non-transactions going on. You can just accumulate some Pi tokens on the mobile app by actively and consistently getting the rewards every 24 hours, checking up the mobile app, and then just claim your Pi tokens. Maybe later on you can trade your Pi tokens later on, right? And I think they
Yeah.
have something more to do with the Pi Network project. I think team has more to. They are ambitious actually. They are not. You know, they have goals to make with the Pi Network. They want to make something big. For example, if you check, let's check on the Twitter. Wait a minute. If you go to Pi Networks Twitter, and then you can see some updates there. So wait a minute.
I think we can I can add on like about this
Yeah,
pi
yeah, sure.
thing.
Go ahead. Yeah,
I think it's more like the tokens that will be listed is more like a derivative on its own. Although people are actually trading pi spot, but it's more like because we do not know about the tokenomics of the pi tokens.
yeah,
We don't know the circulating supply, the fully diluted market cap and stuff like that.
yeah,
Whatever that is trading on Huobi is just what the market thinks that how what value that Pi token is worth. No, because we don't know. Actually, we do not know like the actual utility of it because there's no one paying for gas here. There's no transaction going on. There's no money going on the network. So it just really uh I think it's more like a form of price discovery rather than actively speculating or Huobi just wanting to list it because it's popular. You know, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. A part of price discovery for the Pi network. Also, it's not bad at all. At least people can take it as a reference. When later on the Pi network goes on live on mainnet, and then people are gonna use this price trading right now as a reference. They can price what just take it as a reference. Maybe Pi's gonna trade somewhere around $17 later on because it's gone from a few cents to 300, but after all the supply and demands negotiation, it has come to a price range near $70, and it's a reference for the future, right?
Yep. I think it's just for reference. Yep.
Yeah, and yeah, also yeah, check up their Twitter, and they actually have updated recently you know daily mining sessions, and also how many Pi tokens mined, and then people referred, and then Python bonus contributions. They're trying to they're still building the app, and they're still growing their community. You can now actually mine your own Pi tokens by downloading their app on your phone,
Yeah,
and then
mobile app, right?
just
Yeah.
yeah, but not Apple, right? Because uh,
Yeah,
Apple does not allow the installation of this software, unfortunately.
I think even for CallDAO as well, it's only for Android. It's not for Apple.
Yeah, same. I agree. Yeah. So another very heated topic, a heated project, is called out, right? And people are talking about it, and actually, I dived into the called out white paper. I found it very interesting because it has something more to offer than the Pi network. As for the Pi network, I think their mission is not very ambitious when you compare it with the Cordell's mission. They have a very sophisticated and also interesting Satoshi plus consensus. I think we can talk about it, here.
Mhm.
But let's just introduce the Core DAO project to our audience first. Yeah, the Core DAO project actually wants to solve the problem of the typical triangle problem in crypto. It wants to achieve scalability, want to ensure security, and also it wants to be decentralized at the same time. So typically, let's take an example of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is secure, however, it's not scalable. It's also decentralized, right? And
Yeah.
often a typical project in the crypto space has to sacrifice one of the triangles, one point of the triangles for the other two. So in the example of Bitcoin, it sacrifices scalability, but it is highly secure and is decentralized. As for Ethereum, it's scalable now. It can do a lot of transactions, a few hundred K transaction per minute per second, and then is also secure, but is somewhat less decentralized than it was before because the validators were centralized and many made up by Lido, Coinbase, and the major stakers in the US, and it sacrificed decentralization. So CoreDAO here wants to address this issue, and so therefore the problem of this typical triangle problem. The CoreDAO wants to solve it by proposing the Satoshi plus consensus, which is very interesting because the Satoshi plus consensus combines proof of work and proof of stake together. And at first I was actually a little bit puzzled because how could some model, put proof of work and proof of stake together, and how does it work? It's very interesting. If you look at this chart here, it's a little bit sophisticated, but I'll try to break it down easily. So in simple terms. So the Satoshi Plus consensus tries to leverage the Bitcoin network. It tries to use the hash power of the Bitcoin network to secure the protocol, the blockchain of its own, and and it has to assign some validators here. It has a set of 21. It has a set of 21 validators to do the relaying of the hash power from the Bitcoin, and also to delegate the core to validator candidates, and they power the community, and they power the blockchain, by having the two components together. And maybe Ben's, can you share some of your thoughts on this, this consensus? Because I think it's a little bit complicated, and maybe and try to break it down in simple terms.
I think the call down is trying to do is trying to combine Bitcoin's proof of work and Ethereum's proof of stake together. And how it works is people can actually still use their phone to actually mine call on their phone. And from the call they mine, they can actually stake these call tokens by delegating these tokens to the validator, which is the sort of like the proof of stake Ethereum network. So there's actually like two network working hand in hand together. And
Yeah,
from the Ethereum proof of stake,
yeah,
because users they delegate their core tokens, they get another form of income through staking. So there's two form of income working hand in hand together for these core users. So it's like additional reward. And in how and through that, this is how Cordell secure its network. I think to put it simply is just this is how they work.
okay, thank you, Ben's. And the hybrid model, is still new to the public and to the crypto community, and whether it will work or not is still a mystery, I think, in my opinion. And I'm definitely excited to see how it goes later on when they have their blockchain goes live on mainnet. And then probably I'm paying a lot of attention to this, because this is a brand new solution, right? And a brand new
Yeah,
product in the crypto space.
definitely.
Yeah, and
I
that's why
think
people are talking about it.
there's a
Yeah,
lot of hype on in this call down for now because they wanted to do the airdrop I think on 26th, which is like Christmas. And
yeah,
then they postponed it to 1st of January. However, on 1st of January, called out they released announcement saying that they're gonna push back the airdrop again.
yeah,
So normally we will assume that when there's an airdrop, that is when the mainnet will go live because usually that's the case.
yeah,
But like according to the latest news from yesterday was the airdrop was completed through their app, which is the phone app that people use, is
yeah,
completed. And however, no, I went to search whether the mainnet was live, whether like whether there's a contract address and stuff like that. There's none. So I think everything they are still doing in like I think like Pi,
yeah.
they have an enclosed mainnet on the phone,
I
right?
see. Yeah,
And they don't want to go live like
yeah,
on the blockchain, right?
yeah,
So I
yeah,
think it's the same case for Pi because uh they don't I think they do not they are still unsure of this hybrid model because from this is my personal opinion. I think they are still unsure of it.
Yeah,
And they are, and if they were to go mainnet, things might go wrong. So yeah,
yeah, yeah. And
but
also,
I
you
think if
know,
I think like after all the sorry,
yeah, uh, yeah. I
you
think
go ahead.
yeah, it's also interesting to look at their tokenomics, right? Benz, you mentioned that they had like 2.1 billion tokens. I think you looked into their tokenomics previously. Probably you have something to share with us. Right.
Yes, actually, I'm not sure we have the link for the tokenomics, but I just give briefly how is it like.
Yeah,
So based on what they released yesterday on the tokenomics, uh,
yeah,
out
yeah.
of the
It's
2.1
here to
billion,
yeah.
yeah, out of the
It's here to
2.1 billion tokens that is out,
mm-hmm.
500 million, which is around 25%, will be airdrop to the community.
Oh,
So
so they're
yesterday's
releasing
airdrop,
a huge portion. They're giving away a
yes,
huge portion of their total supply to
yes,
reward early participants, right?
yes, that's 25%. So,
I see.
upon ICO, TGE, or IDO, right, there is 25% of those selling pressure immediately. Yeah.
Okay,
And
okay.
I think that is for, for people to actually use these tokens, try the network. I think in a way it's good, but there's like heavy form of, a selling pressure. Of course, since there's hype, people actually buy these tokens to actually try out whether this hybrid model was good, and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And another thing is this emission curve that core has is 81 years. So how they market themselves is they because this is a proof of work uh, hybrid model, so users can actually the BTC miners can actually mine on core blockchain.
Yeah.
So in the event that BDC after like 20 or 30 years later, the block reward stops, and these miners who actually come to call down to continue mining. So hence there's a block reward for over an 81-year period. This is how they market themselves. It's like, okay, Bitcoin stop paying miners to pay, no mine on our platform.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I see.
this what they yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. So yeah, I definitely an interesting protocol because it has a very special solution to offer to the market, solving the trilemma of typical blockchain project has the scalability, decentralization, also security, the trilemma, and then yeah, very interesting. Definitely worth paying attention to later on when it goes mainnet. And they even had a comparison here. Yeah, look at the chart here. They say the core Satoshi Plus consensus is scalable, decentralized, and secure at the same time. And they point out other, layer one and layer zero chains. For example, the BSC chain, which is not very decentralized, very secure and scalable. And yeah, very, very, very interesting. The Satoshi Plus consensus. So make sure if you're interested into looking at how this model works, you go to Google and search Satoshi Plus consensus. Interesting thing. So
Yeah. And
so
also something to add on is
yeah,
sorry. There's something I learned about core is also audited by Certic. So if you want to know more about the security issues of core DAO, you can go to Certic's website to actually find the score and the audits of it. Yeah. And like from what I see, the score was around 85, 86 out of 100, which is really good uh for a Web3 project. And there's no much major concern. But there's only one major issue, which is the the current call down is very centralized, which they market themselves as very decentralized. So this is
Hmm.
something that if you want to invest in CoreDAO, you have to actually take note that there's potential loss of funds if not hacker were to actually uh manage to actually control CoreDAO as an organization. Yeah,
Yeah.
and another thing about this project is also uh the project team is anonymous. So yeah, that is the tokenomics. Yeah, the project team is anonymous. We do not know who is doing running this project. So also do your own reading as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Ben. For more information, check out the Twitter and just read their white paper and let's see if you agree with their solution, if you support their product as well. Personally, I just take it with a grain of salt, and I'm gonna stay back and watch how things develop later on with their project. But definitely an interesting one.
But if you Johnny, if you were to compare Pi Network and CoreDAO, which one do you think stands a better chance?
Since both of them are in a premature stage, and early participants can just download the app and do the mining and earn the rewards. I think is you know as a crypto guy, it's for free, man. I'm why not just get the rewards for the both projects, and then let's see later on how they go, because they are still very early, and even their mainnet has not been launched, and I can't comment on them. That the team has not released any more, latest updates about the practical achievements, and at least they're gonna show me some. They already building their ecosystem with some solid projects working on them, some solid developers migrating to their community, and it's still very early, but I like the concept that the core DAO is offering to the crypto space, solving the blockchain trilemma. As for the Pi for the Pi network, I'm still a little bit, neutral. I'm not biased to like it. I'm not biased to hate it, but it's new. I'm more neutral on the Pi network. But personally, I like the core DAO more. Yeah. What's your
Yeah,
what's your point of
likewise.
view? Likewise.
Likewise. From what I see, like Pi, uh, they have a enclosed mainnet means the mainnet is ready, but they do not want to put their project onto mainnet. They want to enclose it, and they didn't want to like for people to actually sit and exchange. They are like faulting for
Yeah.
it and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And I think Cordell is, they're trying to solve the blockchain trilemma, which I think is doing something good. And just now you mentioned about projects building on it. There are I think last month they had this NFT that was sold out on Cordell on the I think on the testnet. So I think it's something good also. Um, and they have actually roadmap like uh, a detailed roadmap of what they want to do right immediately right after they launch that mainnet. Like they're gonna set up NFT marketplace. They're gonna set up a DEX to actually do facilitate all this. So I would say I would say I'm more bullish on Corda rather than Pi, but we are still waiting Corda to actually come on in. Yeah.
Yeah. Same. Yeah. Definitely. So I think that's all for the Pi network and also the core DAO part, and then let's move on covering some market news and also last week's economic activities. And coming tomorrow, we have the CPI print. And yeah, Benz, would you like to share screen takeover on the macro part?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I just paused, so you can go on.
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh, Just give me some time to
Sure.
adjust. Okay.
I listened to the Powell speech, and it was not that reactive. I mean, the market was not that reactive to his speech, and
Yeah.
yeah,
I think a lot of market has already priced in like Jerome Powell is gonna be very neutral, not too hawkish, not too dovish, and uh market is expecting like only a 25 basis point like uh for what he mentioned. So just like this a TLDR from investing.com.
yeah,
So according to what Jerome Powell said last night or this morning, he said that 25 basis point is just on the table.
mm-hmm,
And further other than that, Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic is slightly more hawkish on Monday. Say Fed rate should go to around 5.25% by second quarter and stay there
mm-hmm,
for a longer time. I think
mm-hmm.
I think they have this narrative of higher interest rates for a longer period of time has been on the table for the longest time. So
Yeah,
this is like no news to anybody already.
yeah, no
So
big news, right?
no big news. So
Yeah,
if you look at this FOMC Fed Watch tool. So
yeah,
this data is from a CME group. So they priced in the price of these futures to get the probability. So for February's FOMC meeting,
mm-hmm,
you see compared to 1 day ago, like yesterday, there's not much difference. You see,
yeah,
yesterday was 76% of a 25 BP high. Today is a 77% of 25 BP basis points high. So I think there's not not many difference from Powell's speech because I think
yeah.
the market
People
has
are
really
expecting 25.
yeah.
Yeah,
So and compared to what the I mentioned about the Atlanta Fed's chair mentioned, right?
mm-hmm,
Um, he's expecting like uh, later this year, the Fed's rate
mm-hmm,
should be around more than 5% or 5.25% for a longer period of time
yeah,
until like end of the year,
mm-hmm,
which I think the market is sort of like pricing in like 50-50, somewhere between 5% for the almost the whole of this year.
I
Yep.
see.
So
Yeah,
yes. So I think mostly what we can expect is either 25 for this February,
mm-hmm,
then another 25 for March,
yeah,
and that might be another 25 for May, or there might not be another hike for May. So I think this is what the direction the market is going right now.
yeah, I see. What about a CPI print tomorrow? I saw that the
Uh,
market was expecting, a a lower CPI print. They're
uh,
expecting a lower one.
yes. So CPI print is tomorrow. Tomorrow
Yeah, five point seven, five point
yeah,
seven. We're expecting 5.7%. Previously, we had 6%,
around
right?
6%, correct.
Yeah.
So for core CPI,
Mm-hmm.
people are expecting a lower reading from last month,
Yeah.
and around 5.7% core.
Yeah.
And
Core.
for the non-core year on
Non-core
year
CPI
would
year
be
over
six point
year,
five,
six point
six
five
point
percent. I think that's the biggest deviation of people projecting the data from the previous one, right? That's
yeah.
yeah.
I think for the previous one, people are expecting like a 7.3 or 7.5, if I'm not wrong, the
Yeah.
last time. So
Yeah.
we are actually seeing like more economists are expecting uh inflation to actually go down more this for this month.
Yeah.
And if you were to look at actually these few days, there's not many economic data to
Yeah,
look
the
at.
important one is tomorrow's CPI, I think.
Yes, that's right. Unless for oil traders out there, tonight's data will be more important, which is the crude oil inventories data. But we are not here to talk about it. So tomorrow is jobs data and CPI data, which is the most important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than
So,
that, yeah, I think we should. I'll cover some data, recap some data from yesterday. I know from last week.
sure, sure.
We talked about the ISM PMI, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So PMI came in slightly lower than expected, of 48.4 versus 48.5, which is okay. It's not that bad. Jobs job openings came in higher than expected. So US jobs market is actually quite good. Then right after that is jobless claim data, it's normal. Yeah. One thing that we should take note of is last Friday's Euro core CPI data actually came up higher than expected. Yeah, this is something that it could be a wild card tomorrow, but I don't think it's possible. So yeah,
okay,
another
yeah,
yeah another thing is non farm payroll was higher, which is supposed to be bullish for USD, right? So
mm-hmm.
if you look at the USD chart on the 6th of December, right
Yeah,
after the non-farm payroll results came out, DXY just immediately, I think, get down to
yeah,
almost uh, on 103.6 around this
yeah,
price
yeah,
from a high of 105.
yeah,
So this is something that is quite unexpected. It could be that this hourly earnings came in lower, much lower than expected. I think this is the only reason that I can think of during the same time period, because I think last week we did mention about we compare hourly wages with PCE, right?
yeah,
So hourly wages is actually higher than PCE previously. So we need hourly wages or hourly earnings to actually come down to below PC level for inflation to be tamed, right?
yeah,
So I think this is a more important data than the non-farm payroll data, because I
mm,
think the market has already expected that previous like Thursday's ADP non-farm unemployment IDP non-farm employment change was good. Normally, from the data, we would assume that non-farm payrolls is around that data range. So it's supposed to be good. Hence, we see, uh, the day before, USD actually went all the way up to 105, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, went all the way because it's already priced in, like, non-farm payroll is good, jobs data is all good. So it's bullish for USD. And then this hourly wages came in lower than expected, means inflation will be good. Hence, I think the market interpreted that uh, tomorrow CPI should actually go down. I think this
I
is
see.
from what I read from the data.
Yeah, very cool.
What do you think? I think it's quite sound.
Yeah, yeah, very sound. Yeah, I think it's gonna come down as expected. So somewhere maybe 6.4 or 6.6. Yeah, very, very sound and reasonable. I'm not surprised at all.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. However, yes, I think last week's US unemployment went down to 3.5% compared to expectation of 3.7%. So yes, labor market is extremely strong right now. So, but but strong labor market means the Fed has more bullets to high rates even further, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is also something that we have to factor in when we want to go put uh higher weightage in our investment after the CPI data, just in case this is something that we should look at. And I can talk about the US government bond yield curve. So right now the curve is still inverted. 10 years and 2 years bond spread is at negative 65.7 basis points. Credit rating is still AA plus, which is good. And if you look at this graph, the blue line is the current yield curve. The green one is a month ago, and the orange one is 6 months ago. So the current yield curve is more inverted than a month ago. So this shows that uh, we said signs of recession, but labor market is good. CPI is coming down, and everything seems good, but this yield curve doesn't. I think it doesn't lie. It still shows signs of weakness in this US economy. So if you were to start investing, also do watch out. Yeah, I think that's all for the market macro news for today.
Yo,
And
thanks,
can
Spence.
move back
Yeah.
to the next topic
Yeah,
on
we're gonna do
Genesis.
some crypto news. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Genesis, Gemini Earn, because we just had a special letter from Gemini Earn to Barry Silbert, the founder of DCG and also Genesis. So let me share with you what's going on there. So I'm just start off by giving you this letter. Okay, this letter is from Gemini Earn to Barry Silbert. Okay, so basically says DCG took the loan from Genesis, and the money was actually from Gemini Earn, and people, you're vaping, bro. And people were still complaining that they didn't return the 900 million of their assets, and that's a problem because in the beginning of this letter you can see, people who staked their cryptocurrencies on Gemini Earn were ordinary people, like husband and wife saving, and then policemen, school teacher, all of them, entrusted more than 900 million of their assets. And then Genesis just took away their money. And in fact, the problem was not Genesis taking away the money. The problem was that Genesis was broke now. Genesis is broke and cannot return the money back to Gemini Earn users, and that's the problem. So it has been more than 47 days since Genesis halted withdrawals, and you know they cannot sort out the problem. And now this open letter was written to Barry Silbert requesting, you have to do something for Gemini Earn users. You cannot just, ignore the situation and then telling them, don't have money and then just go for bankruptcy and then just trying to sort things out in this way. It doesn't work. And then after that, and then the U.S. authorities, SEC, launched some investigation into DCGs and also Genesis transactions, whether they're suspicious. And also Gemini's calls for removal of DCG chief Barry Silbert, alongside with the letter. Obviously, Gemini's very upset with what Barry Silbert is doing right now, and they're probably encouraging, just urging Barry Silbert to do something, return the money. But I think Barry Silbert does not have the money, and he's not gonna pay back Gemini earns very soon in the near future because they lost the money to 3AC. And then what's funny is let's look at what Barry Silbert uh, says, and then he just wrote a letter to shareholders and saying recent times has been very tough, and then he just you know uh, and too long delivery, and the conclusion is that uh, he's being optimistic that DCG will emerge from this year a stronger company than ever before. So, hey, man, where's the money? Yeah, it's quite funny. Even the SEC is looking into the situation, and let me dive a little bit deeper into the letter because there is some Q&A at the bottom of the open letter written by Barry, and then trying to explain what's going on. So the first question is basically not important. So let's go down and let's see if we have some important notes to take.
I think the
So
second one is the most important, one of the most important one. Yeah,
okay, let's go this one. Since
yeah. The
DCG
second,
was founded, and then and then what it's saying is saying um DCG has a team approximately 50 individuals that makes investment supports portfolio companies and provides strategic guidance. And then to be abundantly clear, DCG does not direct any trades, loans, or borrows from Genesis business, and that's very suspicious, right? Yeah, I think it's very
I,
suspicious.
I think it's I think it's more like what I think DCG is trying to say is DCG and Genesis is like their only relationship is a parent subsidiary relationship.
So
So
no money transaction between the two.
there can be money transaction between the two, but everything must be on paper. Like
Yeah,
like if I were to borrow money from you from my subsidiary, it must be at a cost. There must be some cost involved. So I cannot like, borrow $1 million from you, but I don't pay any interest. So
yeah,
that is like maintaining an arm's length, right? So
yeah.
this is what they meant. So I think the previous I think the letter dated earlier this week was saying like DCG borrowed money from Genesis, I think
Yeah,
1.1 billion
yeah.
at an interest rate of 1% for 10 years. So DCG has to return 1.1 billion at at the end of 2033. Yeah. So I
I think you are
think
referring to this statement, right? The
yeah,
1.1 billion promissory note, and
that's right.
then yeah, yeah, the unsecured loan
Yes.
from Genesis, no, from Three Arrows Capital. But Three Arrows
Yes.
Capital was broke, and the money was gone. That's the problem. And now whether what they can do is to raise money from other investors to repay Gemini earned users. That's what they can do, right? They have no other resort. What else can they do? Are they gonna unwind their GBDC grayscale company and then dumping their BTC holdings? There's 640K Bitcoin out there. If they dump the Bitcoin, then the whole crypto industry will be nuked. Bitcoin, we're gonna see Bitcoin down to 5K or even lower, liquidating MicroStrategy. That's nuke.
I
I think they're not gonna do that, right?
I don't think they will liquidate all of the BTC holdings if in the event they were to liquidate GBC, right? So I think they only will liquidate part of it to actually pay back the loan.
Yeah. What about if we look at their investment holding. GBDC total holdings 11.02 billions. Maybe they are gonna liquidate other holdings, but I don't think they have, other than GBDC, I don't think they have enough money to liquidate the shit coins like Filecoin, Bitcoin Link, Stellar, LPT, and then just a few millions. But they
Yes.
own Gemini earn 900 millions, and they're gonna do it selling either some part of the Ethereum Classic, maybe Ethereum and also Bitcoin, some of their holdings.
Yes, I think so. I think they have more than enough money to actually pay back this. Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's more like Gemini is forcing BCG to actually step in to help Genesis pay back their loan, right? But
yeah,
BCG doesn't want to do that because if they were to step in, they are not maintaining at arm's length to, like between subsidiary and parent company. So it might be a trap for BCG. This is what I think.
yeah. Okay, this is reasonable, and I think it's also makes sense. So what's people talking about right now is that they are afraid that DCG is gonna DCG cannot raise money from other investors, and then the solution left for them is to unwind Grayscale and to dump some part of the Bitcoin and holdings, GPC holdings into the market, and then just pay back Genesis and then pay back Gemini Earn users. But this is the worst case scenario, and small chance of it happening, in my opinion.
Yes, I think so too because it's really I think Grayscale itself is sort of like I would
Yeah,
say investment arm or the it's like a asset management arm for DCG. So it's chances of them liquidating Grayscale GBDC or Grayscale's ETF is chance of it is really really low.
yeah,
However, black swan events can occur as well because uh what what BOJ and the SEC investigation, whatever negative results that comes out, uh the crypto market might actually take another dive if it's like really bad. But so far there's no evidence, uh there's no any news coming out from SEC and the DOJ.
yeah,
So I think everything is good for now.
yeah, yeah. So far, let's wait for more updates, right?
Yeah,
Let's
I
hope
think
that Gemini Earn users get their money back, and then custody custody their own assets, and yeah, that's what I think. So, all right. We're running out of time already. We've been talking so long for a DCG
yeah.
thing. Yeah. So, uh, let's see. We're gonna actually. I want to tap into the Ripple versus SEC case, but we don't have enough time, so maybe we'll do it next week. Probably we're gonna cover the CPI print tomorrow and next week's session too. Benz, do we have guests coming over next week?
Mm, there's a chance. It's not confirmed yet, but we might have uh, Lido, the linguistic
Okay.
project coming on, but
Yeah,
we are still talking about it. There's no time set for now.
I see.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I think for the users out there, you can always go to our Huobi Research or Huobi Live Twitter to
yeah,
actually look for latest updates.
yeah.
You can actually
Just check
comment
out
on
Twitter.
it. Yeah, just check on Twitter.
Check
You
out
can
Twitter.
even
Yeah,
comment on our banner to actually ask us give us some ideas of what you want to talk about because hot topics is always good to actually talk
yeah.
about. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Feel free to suggest any heated topics, and we're gonna cover that for you guys. And let's see, Ben, if you want to add something, anything.
I think that's all for me today.
Yeah, that's all for the weekly market share, and hope you enjoyed it. And we're gonna do next week, same time, and see you next time.
Yeah. See you.
Yeah, see
Okay.
you guys.
Good night,
Thank you, Ben.
everybody.
Yeah, good night, everybody. See you guys
Okay.
next
Good
time.
night. Bye
Bye bye.
bye.